if you want to improve your golf game in 2025, here's my advice to you. We got 5 steps. First of all, we got taking the risk, we got focusing on fewer things, improving your physical game, practicing smarter, and mastering the basics. And if you're going to implement all of those things, well, your game is 100% going to be at a much better level in year 2026 than it is in 2024 and 2025. And it's probably going to be the hardest year and the best year that you can be. You must understand. If you want to get better, you have to go through struggles. You have to go to difficult times. If you don't go through difficult times, you're not gonna get better, right? Nothing easy has ever achieved greatness. Now, first of all, taking the risk. Let me give you a little bit of story so you know where I come from. I've been playing golf for around 20 years right now. I'm 23. I started 2, 3, 4 age, right? Something around that, just with plastic clubs. But in the year 2021, I think it was 2021 or 2022, I decided to turn pro. And I asked myself, can I actually become a good golfer with the swing and with the base and with the basics that I have? And I said to myself, no, I cannot. So I started improving. I read a few books, I started learning about my swing, and I knew for the longest times what, my negatives are in my swing and what I need to change, but I haven't taken a risk to change them because I knew that when I will eventually change them, it will lead, a big change to my game, to my scores, and to my confidence. But I said, if this is a step that I need to take and I must take, then I will take it. And I took it. And that was the year when I actually struggled the most. I had probably one of the worst seasons, but my swing has changed forever. And I'm so glad I actually did those things. And this is not just about taking the risks, it's everything in this video I implemented in that 1 year so I could actually become better. So you will need to watch video till the end so you actually understand the whole story. But I changed my grip. And grip is a cornerstone of your swing. If your grip is a little bit positioned out of your comfort zone and what you don't like, well, it's going to be very hard. If you got a strong left and neutral right, and if you go weak left and strong right, well, you're gonna be hitting fucking left and right. It's going to be impossible for you to play. So I started changing my grip, and it's crazy. It took me 1.5 years to actually get to the correct grip that I was supposed to be. And many amateurs say that I'm gonna change grip in 1 week or 2 weeks. Well, that's just not gonna happen. It's gonna take weeks, months, maybe even years. And it's funny because I practice a lot because I'm a professional. This is my profession, and I do practice a lot. And when I say that I took so much to change one small thing from here to here and from here to here, then you know how much you have to work on and how much confidence and how much motivation you're gonna need to go through those struggles. So that's why taking the risk sometimes is really, 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 important to do in life. And this doesn't just goes for golf, it goes in life as well. If you're in 20s and you don't take risk, and if you don't start investing or learning new skill or going out of your comfort zone, you will probably never get better. So that goes same in golf. Golf is like life, right? We got moments where, let's say on the course, we made a few bad shots, a few bad decisions, and then we're all crooked down, like what the fuck. And then you start thinking of those things, but you have to get through them. If you want to get better, you have to get through them. So it's same in life and it's same in golf. That's why I love playing golf, because it gives you a little bit of if you go play with somebody 18 holes, you're actually gonna know what kind of person he is, because you're gonna see his emotions evolve throughout the 180 holes, when he hits a good shot, when he hits a bad putt, like whatever. So that's why taking the risk can really, really, really help you understand the golf and actually progress to the next level. But it's going to be very hard. Second advice, focus on less rather than more. Now, what I mean by that? So when you work with a coach or when you work on yourself, if you focus on 10 different things at a time, let's say we are at a long game, and you focus on stance, on how you're gonna swing, on your posture, on 10 different things, are you gonna improve? Well, probably not, because every time you're gonna go to a coach, he's gonna tell you a different thing. And that's why I really, really, really hate coaches that you go to them, you spend money, and then every time they tell you a different thing, and you think, oh, that's gonna help me. Oh, this is really helpful. Oh, this is really helpful. And then 1 year later, well, you're still at the same place because you have to work on one thing to actually progress. As I said before, it took me 1.5 years to actually get the grip down. 1.5 years. And you probably changed 70 different things in the matter of 1.5 years. But if you just stick to one, and even if it's not the correct one, even if it's, the wrong move, you're still going to be practicing that and you're going to be evolving that into your subconscious. And you will have that muscle memory into the wrong or into the right. It does not matter, but you will understand how this affects. If I was doing the grip wrong and I was doing it for 1.5 years and I realized, hey man, it's actually not working, it went right, it went left, well, so be it, we're gonna change it again. That's the whole process of golf. If you want to evolve and if you want to become better, you have to focus on less rather than more. And this is one thing that I really do. If I was your coach, we would first go to basics, and I'm gonna break this down into two different segments. How I like to break this down is we got static fundamentals and we got active fundamentals. Now what I mean by that, so with basic fundamentals, I like to put them into a perspective where you stand, right? So you're static. So when you're standing on the ball and when you're, preparing for a shot, you're static, you're not moving, right? Your club is not moving, which means they're static. And this goes for grip, posture, stance, how far apart. So, stance, how far apart you are from the ball, how far apart you are from your feet, where the ball is positioned. And these are all basic fundamentals. And static fundamentals, I'm sorry. And if your static fundamentals are not good enough, then your active fundamentals are going to be even worse. Now, what I mean by active fundamentals, when you start swinging the club, these were active fundamentals come into play. So when you swing the club, how you transfer your weight. Is your weight transferred to the right? Do you pressurize left foot? Do you pressurize right foot? Do you extend with your arms? Do you keep them, in this kind of position? Do you bow the wrist? Do you do a whole swing? Do you do a half swing? Do you go through the ball? Right? Do you cock the wrists? And these are the active fundamentals, which means when the club is moving, these were active fundamentals come in play. But why did I break this down? Because you can do many static fundamentals at once. Because when you're standing on the ball, you will not be thinking of those static fundamentals when you're in the swing because you have already done that, and then you just swing the club. So I can do a posture, ball, head, straighten up arms, all static. I can do 10 different things. And if I can do them before I hit, it's okay, because when I hit, I will just swing and I will not think about those things. But if you do active fundamentals, which means 10 different things in your backswing, you have to go a little bit more up, you have to extend, you have to do a little bit longer backswing. This is where things are gonna come at a confusion rate, and you're gonna be confused, right? How many times you've been a coach and he told you 10 different things, you're just like, oh, that, I don't know how to hit the ball, right? And then somebody goes there and says, just hit the ball, and then you hit the ball straight. It's because you're not thinking, because you got your own swing. And that's why I wanted to break down two static and active fundamentals, so you actually understand that if you're working on static fundamentals, you can work on many different things. But if you work on active fundamentals, then you will probably have to loosen this down onto 1, 2, or 3. It depends how big the technique and the thing is that you're doing with your coach or with yourself. So that's why I really break it down and try to, doing less by less by less. Start with posture. If you're not somebody who doesn't practice as much golf and you want to improve, just go slowly. Start with the posture. Learn how to posture yourself, okay? And then learn how to position your ball and do 2 weeks do posture, 2 weeks do that, and then slowly you're gonna go in that direction. You're gonna start improving your posture, your ball positioning, and then from there, if you go to active fundamentals, you can essentially say, okay, let's do weight transfer. So you're gonna be working on weight transfer for 2 months. Good, you got that done, and then you go to the next thing. I understand it's much easier than said, but it's all about improvement. You will need to take a risk, right? You will need to take a risk, and the risk is going to be your time and your effort, right? The more effort and the more time you're going to put in, then essentially the risk is going to, come rewarding. So that's why, implementing the first one and then going to the second one complements each other, all right? So really, start focusing on less, learn and go step by step. You don't have to go, to a Tiger Woods level all at once and just try to improve everything. I know that sometimes we want to improve everything at once, but I'm telling you from my experience, what I've learned and which year was actually the most that I've learned was the one that I actually went step by step by step. Third advice, physical aspect of the game, which means our body, right? Strength, flexibility, agility, all right? And stamina, of course. Everything has a different story in golf, okay? Now, this is probably one of the most overlooked aspects because many beginners and many amateurs think that they will get the swing just by doing technique, and they will get the distance just with technique. There's a lot to do with technique, but there's a certain percentage that if your physical game is not on the level, well, you might be going down and down and down, and you're probably gonna say, oh, you got many different, John Daly, who's, fat and, doing the swings left and right, and he's fucking phenomenal with feel. And you must understand, he practiced and he played golf as much as you will never do, and that's the thing. And I'm not saying that you have to be in shape, but I'm saying that it helps to be in shape. Now, let me give you a story. When I was around 17, 16, I couldn't hit the ball farther than 113 miles per hour. So club head speed was 130 miles per hour, and I couldn't swing it faster. And everybody's like, oh, swing it faster, do that. I couldn't. I started working on my body, and I started doing body weight exercises, aka calisthenics. And in the matter of 4 years, I went up to 135 miles per hour. Of course, I, learned a little bit more how to hit the ball far, because it's not all about strength. Then you have to learn how to hit faster. But of course, this really, really helped me to hit the ball far. And it's not just about hitting the ball far, it's about hitting the ball on 90% and still consistently hit the ball far and hit the ball straight. And now usually I have around 123 to 126 miles per hour average speed. And I can consistently hit that because my max is around 135. So if I can go to 135, then I can essentially take the 10% down and I can hit the ball 125. It's not just about hitting consistent and about that, it's about life as well. The more you're gonna practice on your physical, the better you're gonna feel, the more confident you're gonna feel, and the less injuries you're gonna have when you're gonna get older. And in golf, you know how our body works, right? We swing it a lot, there's a lot of muscles working, a lot of tension in the back spine, and if you can prevent that with a little bit of stretching, a little bit of agility, and a little bit of strength, well, it's gonna help you in the long term. So I'm saying this because not a lot of golfers actually go out of their way and actually say, maybe it's not about my technique, maybe it's about my body. Maybe my body is not good enough, strong enough to hit the ball far, right? It's not flexible enough to make a full swing. Maybe that's the case. Maybe you need to practice on your physical aspect of your game. Maybe that's gonna leave a big change into your game. Right? Have you ever asked yourself, am I flexible enough to hit the ball fully? Am I strong enough to actually hit the ball 125 miles per hour? If you want to hit the ball 125 miles per hour. Well, probably not. Now, for me, I know that flexibility is one of the worst things that I have on my body right now. The worst things. And you know how golf is. You have to be flexible, right? And I'm so freaking stiff that I said to myself, if I don't flex my body, and if I don't stretch my body to a certain position, I will never be able to play the best golf I could play, because my body is going to be in the way. It's not going to be my technique. My technique is good enough. My body is saying, hey man, you're too stiff. You have to loosen up your body, otherwise, we cannot provide the swing that you actually want. So, in this case, I will not be just working on technique, I will be working on my body. And I have gained so much strength, right? That right now it's no problem of me hitting the ball. So I got that done. But it took me fucking 2 to 4 years. It took time, as I said before, right? It's going to take years to do something. And if you want to become, it's about the process. It's about enjoying the process. It's going to take time. It's going to be hard. But getting your body into a shape will eventually help you get better results. So if you have a coach, maybe you can do some tests and actually realize that, maybe you have to work on something. Maybe you have to stretch a little bit. Maybe you have to warm up. Maybe you have to, maybe your upper body is too big and your lower body is not too big. Maybe you have to, adjust a few things in your body. Maybe you have to stretch your back. There's so many people, stiff nowadays because we're just working like this, or you're doing some physical work and you're all stiff, and then you go on a course, you're all stiffed up as well. So you have to stretch up, you have to warm up, and you have to work on your body. Sometimes working up on your body will eventually lead to success on your swing, and this is what I'm gonna do this year. And I've been saying this for fucking years, and I know I have to stretch, but I still cannot get to stretching. But in 2025 I will definitely complete that. This is my analogy for 2025, and I'm definitely, if I want to get to a swing and if I want to be a good professional, I will have to go and be disciplined on the stretching. So yeah, let's go to the fourth thing. My fourth advice: practicing smarter, not harder. Now, what I mean by that? We're gonna first start off with quantity and quality. There's so many debates in the world. Oh, you have to do quality over quantity. Oh, quality is going to be much better than quantity. But you must understand where you stand from your game is the point where you will need to work either on your quantity, either on your quality. If you're a beginner who doesn't know how the golf works, who doesn't know how to feel the club, you will need to hit balls, you will need to get quantity in. Do you understand? If you're a professional on the right side, well, quantity is probably something you've done a lot, and you don't need quantity anymore, you need quality. So if you're someone in the middle, combining both quality and quantity is going to give you a better result. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? If you're a beginner, you have to hit balls. If I was your coach and you just started golf, I would get you the basics done. I would get you how to warm up, and slowly progress you towards advanced things. But we would be starting at fundamentals, and I would say, okay, just hit balls. You need to learn how to swing. You need to learn how to feel the club. You need to learn how the swing actually works. And then from there, let's say 2 years later, we would go a little bit more on quality because we need to work on some quality things. And then the more we would go, the more quality you would probably need to have. So a professional would go more into quality than quantity, and beginners should go more into quantity than quality. Now, this is not all about practicing smarter and harder. Most beginners and most amateurs, as I said in the video up there, you can check it out. It's about why practicing is much more efficient than playing. And this is where practice smarter, not harder, can come in play. So, as I said in the video, is if you're just a golfer who loves to play golf, but you want to improve, and you just play on the course, you're not going to be improving. Because this is not where you're going to be taking shots and improving your game, but you're going to be having fun. You're going to be trying every single thing, and every shot you're going to miss, you're going to be frustrated, and it's just going to go on and on and on. If you go on a range and you just hit balls, it's not about quantity and quality. If you go on a range without an intention, you just hit balls, you're going to improve? Probably not, right? If you're someone in the middle of the spectrum of beginner and intermediate or professional, if you're someone in the middle, you just go on a driving gear and just say, okay, I'm gonna hit 100 balls without any intentions. You think you're gonna improve? Probably not. No, probably not. It's better to hit 30 balls than actually hit 100 balls with intentions. Okay, I'm going to see how my posture is, I'm going to see where I'm aiming, and the 30 balls are going to be much more efficient than hitting 100 balls. And this is where quality goes over quantity. And this is why playing smarter, not harder, can actually help you advance a little bit faster. If you just take every time that you go on a course and you just putt or you just chip, and just go with a small intention, just with one intention. Okay, what do I want to do today on putting green? Well, maybe I'm gonna read greens. Good. 20 minutes of reading greens is gonna help you much more than just going down, they say, oh, it's going left and right, boom, and you putt the ball. You can take probably 80% less time, you can spend 80% less time on a course or on putting on practice range, and actually improve much more than if you spend 10 hours more on the golf course. And that's why practicing with purpose can make all the difference in the world. I understand you want to have fun sometimes, that's fine, but it's all about if you want to improve. And if you want to improve in 2025, just make yourself a roadmap. Just write it down and say, okay, so on putting, what were my biggest mistakes? Okay, I need to start learning how to read greens. My pace has been off. Okay, you got these two things and you're gonna be working on these two things. It doesn't mean you have to work on these two things every single time, but 40% of the time you just go out there and you say, okay, I'm gonna be working on reading greens, I'm gonna be working on putting green, on pace. And then you say for chipping as well. Okay, so what I need to learn about chipping? Maybe I need to get a few shots more in, so I have a bigger vocabulary on shots, right? So I can choose different shots when I'm on the course. Maybe I have to get the feel down. Maybe I'm chunking the ball too hard. Okay, let's focus on not chunking the ball too much. Here you go. You're working on with intention. You go to long game. You're not just hitting balls. You say, okay, what do I want to do? So I've been having pushes for the longest freaking time. Let's figure it out. Why am I hitting pushes? And try to work on that. Small after small after small intention can lead to a big purpose in golf, right? So really, getting things slow and getting things step by step with a purpose can really help you, not just with your time management, but with your mental and physical game as well. Just going slowly and slowly will definitely help you achieve better results in the end goal. And trust me, if you implement just these 4 things, and we got one more, you're gonna be much better in 2026 than you are in 2024. 5th advice, and listen carefully because this is the most important out of them all. And it's about mastering the basics. I have said this numerous times in my previous videos. Your base has to be good. If your base is not good enough, which means your basics and your fundamentals are not good enough, your whole swing is going to suffer from it. Like I said before, static fundamentals, active fundamentals. So if your static fundamentals are good, which means your active fundamentals are going to be better. If your static fundamentals are bad, then your active fundamentals are going to suffer. Now, mastering the basic, what I mean by that? You say, oh, but I need to go to advanced things, I need to learn how to swing the glove, 2 degrees up. It's just pointless. Professionals go back to basics. I have gone back to basics after 20 years of practicing, and I never had a bad swing. I always had a solid swing, but I had to go back to basics because I realized that my fundamentals are just not good enough. If you look at one of the best swings, one of the most, best looking swings and most effective swings, we got Rory, we got Tiger. I'm just gonna do these 2 examples because they are screaming fundamentals. If you look at them, you're gonna see fucking everything like a perfection, right? Just fundamentals are so good, and that's why their swing is so good. But if you look at somebody who's crooked up, like an amateur who's standing like this, and then, grip is all crooked up, he's gonna be flipping the club. Well, yeah, because, everything that you do on the base and everything that you do with fundamentals is effectively going to change how you swing. Learning how to grip, how to stand on the ball, checking your alignment, every week, learning that you're not aiming 20 meters left. Just imagine, there's so many golfers that I have come across, and they thought that they've been hitting poles, right? But they've been aiming 20 meters left. It's like, just aim straight. Oh, here we go. The ball is going straight. So just the small things that you need to learn, and the basics are going to be the most hard thing that you're going to be working on, but they're going to be the most effective one. Like, the risk to reward on fundamentals is immense. If you just fucking work on fundamentals for 1 year, your game is gonna propel. Like, if you can break 100, 90, 80, 70, whatever, just go back to basics, right? Don't try to do something advanced that your coach said, oh yeah, we have to go 1 degree up, we have to go 1 degree. Like, what the fuck? We're not robots, and you're not a professional either. So you have to learn how to swing good. And when you swing good, that's where you can, effectively change those small things in the swing. That's why, I've been practicing on my own for, past 8 years, because I realized that if I'm in this circle, that nothing's gonna help me. So I'm trying to go this on my own way. And I can just tell you from my experience what I've learned, that mastering the basics and fundamentals are probably the most important things. And let me tell you one thing. On chipping, I always had really good feel with my chipping, but my technique was not good enough. I read Tiger Woods' book, and he showed me 6 or 7 steps on how to chip. I did those things, and I practiced chipping almost every day for half of a year. Now, my chipping technique is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And even if I don't practice for 4 years, for 4 months, I'm still gonna go there and I'm gonna play good because my basics are good. And everything goes from the basics and everything goes from fundamentals. So really getting your base down and getting your base settled is just going to help you drastically when it comes to hitting the ball. So there you have it. Taking risks, focusing on less, improving your physical game, practicing smarter, and mastering the basics can definitely help you break through 2025 golf struggles. 2025 is the year of getting back and getting ahead of your game. And it's about year of improving. So if you're not on the level and if you don't want to improve, that's fine. But if you want to improve, these are the steps that you can take and that can help you implement into your game so you can essentially become a better golfer. Remember, it's all about small, consistent steps. Taking it slow, going step by step by step. And over time, you're gonna realize that if you take a small step by step, you're gonna be improving much faster. You are not going to go much far back. But if you jump from level 4 to a level 8, well, just most likely you're gonna go back to level 5 and then go back again. But that does not matter. If you just start focusing on your game and just realizing what you have to do and what you have to work on, you're gonna get in love with the process. But bad shots and bad scores, you have to keep in consideration. There's gonna be a lot of that when you're improving. And if you work on a grip for 1 week or 2 weeks and you don't see results, do not stop. Go forward. You fail, you go up. You fail, you go up. If you fail and you quit, then you're done, you're not gonna improve. But if you fail and you learn something from it and you go next step up and you learn from the failure, you're gonna be much better golfer in 2025. So look, I'm not here to promote something bullshit. I'm here to promote my experience and what I've learned throughout the years and what helped me. And maybe I can share this experience with you so you can break the 2025 as much as I will. I got so much things to work on, I got so much things to share, and hopefully you're gonna be on this journey with me. I wish you a happy new year, and we'll see you in year 2025. Take care.